Stampers and crafters, it's Kevon from ktstamps.com, creating cards for you. Today is Hump Day Wednesday, and really Hump Day sketches. And I am so glad that you are joining me. I'm sorry I had to move this to 5 o'clock. I had another appointment that I could not change. So thank you for bearing with me. So today, the question is, what would you do without stamps? This is brought to us by the TGIF Challenge. Thank you guys very much for creating these challenges and for giving us an opportunity to play along with you, even though it's probably after the fact. Well, we are doing stamping today, and stamping is going to be all about no stamps. So this is my first card that we are going to take a look at. It's a lot of butterflies with some white background. And as you can see, you can peer a little bit. You can see the marble DSP. As you just whoops open it, it's sending love. And those are my stamps. So it's just kind of a crazy little stamp. I want to do something a little bit different. So this is my different today. So out of that, so you know just a little bit about what we are doing, I have, and this is a little bit about retirement. So we had Simply Marvelous 6x6 designer series paper. I love this. I was hoping they would come back with it, but let me show you on this pink piece. This is great, and I think this is Flirty Flamingo. And as you can see, there's a little more white mixed in, but boy, when you turn it over to the other side, there is a lot of pink. So when you go through all the colors, that's exactly what happens. Gray, and then look at this wild gray color. I love it. And then you have the purple, and then look at that beautiful marble. Love it. So anyway, we are working with that today. And I love this paper, and oh, I wish it would come back. At the same time, you can see that we have some butterflies, and these butterflies were cut out from this designer series paper. Now we have our brilliant wings, and there are two different parts to these die cuts. These are the detailed die cut, and this is the bold die cut. So now if I bring this back in, you can see that I use this bold to cut out this white. And I'm putting it up against the gray so you can at least see the gray between it. So we are going to take one of these little butterflies and put them in the proper place to create this card. So it's really kind of fun at the same time. Sorry for being in your way. Also, we are working with some wonderful adhesive sheets. And what I did was that I stuck these adhesive sheets. They come like this. All right. And the best part about this is that they are about 6 by 12. They have a piece on the other side that, oh, maybe it's on this side. I can't ever figure it out. Oh, and of course, I don't have my glasses on. Oh, my goodness. All right, that comes apart. So one end is really sticky and the other end is not. So I put the sticky end up against this side, and then when I do the sanding, I will peel off the back so the adhesive comes off. So that's what these are all about. And I have to say, they are wonderful. So I use this quite a bit. I was going to use some of these foam strips, but I think I'm going to change the card a little bit. The foam strips I put in the back. And you can see that I just took a piece of this foam, okay, and all I did was move it, cut it to the size that I wanted it. It's sticky on the outside and has this cover on the inside. They're exactly like the sheets that we have, the foam adhesive sheets. But these are also really great to work with when you are just dealing with something that you want right in the middle to pull it all together. Then again, I'm all about retirement. These are some of our old jewel basics. I love it because these come in, these, I should say, jewels come in this, should have taken this apart, these long pieces, and then you can just cut off what you need to use. So this is really well worth it, and that's how I got the long lines going down for my butterflies. Otherwise, you could take your regular jewels and just put them in one by one. But I just thought I have a couple of these, so I want to use them up. We are also using, okay, Love for You, which is this beautiful card, or excuse me, beautiful stamp set that has these stamps, these stamps that are in photo Palmer, and then it has the dies. And so all I did was I took my love and cut it out from this marble. And that's how I wrote the love. I also did sending smiles, and I used the sending, and that's what you guys will see later. And these are the exact same thing. They have the photo Palmer stamps. Love these. And then they have, this is the shadow or the boulder. And then this is the detailed, and it's very thin. So that we're also using those. Okay, so let's get ourselves busy just a little bit so you know what we're doing. All right, first up, piece of marble, 6x6. You can use anything that you would like to use. We also have basic white, and the basic white is just 5.5 by 8.5, and we're scoring it at 4 1/4. Then we have two pieces. I'm sorry, this is the basic white, and this one's thick. This one is just regular. And this is our Flirty Flamingo, and they are cut at 4 by 5.5. And then we just have scrap pieces. And the scrap pieces are going to be this, and it's going to be another piece of the pink so we can do our love on it. And if you look enough, the love would fit right over here at the side. So what that means is that I can also take this 6x6 sheet, cut out all of my butterflies, and then stick the love, probably put it right over here, stick the love in a corner, and then it will die cut right out. All right, so that also helps. And this is just for scrap pieces for die cuts. This is just Smokey Slate. Then these are both that's where that piece went to. No. These are both pieces of 4 1/4 by 5.5. And I'm just going to stick the whole thing to the front. And this is just the gray, and this is just the basic white. So if you would like to take a quick picture, please feel free. Let me move this up just a little bit so you can at least see what we are doing. All right. And this is our picture. Let me see if I can get it up there just a little bit more. There you go. And I will change this today and not add any of the foam. I'm going to just do it with glue. All right, so let's get ourselves started. I have lots of stuff all over the place. All right, so the first thing that we are going to do is that I'm just going to take this, and I think I have another piece. I'm sorry. This piece was for the front. Let's really confuse you. This piece is for the front. And then this piece is 3 3/4 by 5. And it's just going to fit on the Flirty Flamingo. These are both going on the inside of the card. All right, so that's what we are going to do right now. Let me bring out my silicone pad. So then this will stick just a little bit better. And again, I always go from the smaller piece to the larger piece. And again, we're just doing the inside of the card. Again, this is 3 3/4 by 5. And this is my Stampin' Seal. And that's just going to go on the inside. All right, so we have that done. So now we're going to turn to the outside and work on it. Now, because I did all these dies and they came in pieces like this, okay, I'm just going to glue this down to the gray. And it's really going to be interesting because it doesn't look like anything, but I really like the fact that it is kind of like an outline that you can use with your butterflies. And I put them up with the adhesive strips, but I really just looked and I thought, I'm not getting the depth that I really wanted. So it's important that we work on the depth. And again, remember, whenever you're using this mono glue, and this is the mono glue that it's a liquid glue, you just want to have a little bit. Sometimes you have to squeeze really hard and a lot to try to get glue to come out. But unfortunately with this one, or maybe I should say fortunately with this one, you don't have to squeeze very much for the glue to come out. All right, so now we're just going to take this and put this on top of this gray. And I really like the mono because you can move it just a little bit. There's time for you to be able to move pieces that you need to just to make sure that they are stuck in the places that you want them to be stuck in. And the other thing that happens is that I can stretch this just a little bit. Okay. And if you don't, it's just taking some time. It's up to you. You can also do something like this and put it down on top of this with just the butterfly, the detailed cutout. But I decided that I really wanted a lot of gray. I love pink and gray, so I really wanted to show that part off. All right, so this is what we have. And then all I'm going to do is turn it over, and I'm just going to adhere it to the front of the card. And again, like I said, I just, every now and then I have these wild urges to do something just little bit outside my comfort zone, and here we go. We got it right now. And now my goal is just to match it up on the basic white. And if not, we did the best we can. Okay, so that's where we are with this. Now, I want to bring in all my little pieces. And this is where I keep all my stamping stuff, is in a plastic little container. I got it from my sister-in-law, and it's just really easy to deal with. It's about, I'd probably say about 12 inches by 8, 9 inches. So this is fun to be able to have when I am working with all of this. So now all I'm going to do is that I'm going to take all of these butterflies. And remember I said I'm going to do these just a little bit different. Well, I'm just going to, oh good, I'm just going to add some glue right down the middle. That's what I'm going to do, and I'm just going to let it sit for just a few minutes. And this is where I would put in the adhesive strips, but I'm choosing to use glue instead. And I just thought that it will bring it down a little bit closer to the gray. And then you have your green, your pink. And then you can go ahead and have wings. Curl the wings just a little bit. All right, so I'm going to sit that just for a minute. So we are going to bring in our Sending Love. And remember I told you, I'm just bringing in my foam sheet so it has something so you can see this up against. And then I'm going to, I hope, find my, I thought I had my little pokey tool, but I can't find my pokey tool, so I'll just bring in my tweezers. And all we're going to do is try to get an end and see if it curls. Oh, this is going to be beautiful right here, because this is where the sheet has a nice little center that I had to mix them together. So I had to put 2 sheets together. So the hardest part and the longest part will be trying to get this adhesive off the back. Once you get it going, it's going to be really easy to do. And all I'm trying to do is just flick it back just a little bit to get it started. Yeah, it's not starting very much. Again, you want to make sure that you are very gentle with this as you are doing so. And this is going to help me out quite a bit. Right here. Yeah, the other one came apart just a little easier than this one. So this is what you will spend all your time taking apart, is the adhesive on the back. And yes, you're going to have to pick it all out. Some of it's going to come really fast. Some of it is not. There we go. We got the bottom. And now we'll just get the top. And if I had my pokey tool, all I would be doing right now is using my top part of my pokey tool to just get it started. But it seems like it is. We're a little bit better just grabbing it from the middle of the letters. And again, this just says sending. And then we're moving. I hope you can see my operation that I am doing. I hope the love comes across a little bit better than that. I did not know that I was going to have to do surgery on this. I thought it was going to come out pretty easy because the last one did. And this one's just taking a little bit of time. So thank you so much for bearing with me on this. I need to have somebody else who's here with me to just hold things down while I go after this. And if all else fails, I may just have to leave it, use the other card, and then come back. But this is what happens when you're stamping in real life. You know, it just takes some time. And then you add the camera and you're hoping to go for about 15, 20 minutes. And it takes you a little bit longer, but ta-da! We have this. And what I wanted is that I wanted to be able to spread this sending out. So I just put it out this way. I know that I have this. I should have picked off the back before I did that, but I'm not going to worry about that. We're going to bring in our love. And again, I think this one had one piece. So once you start this, you want to just be really gentle as you do so. All right. And so here is our love. So I'm just going to throw this down at the bottom. So by now, our glue has turned from white to clear. And I don't know how well you can see that, but that's exactly what we want. And so now I'm just going to match these up. And as you can see, it's going to have a little bit of flap. I do like these a lot more because I can see the beautiful gray. Oh, yes, I like this a lot. Oh, yes, yes, yes. Woohoo! It's like putting together a puzzle. It was just really fun to do. Now, some of you may ask, am I going to have to cut off some of the butterflies? Yes, I will. I just didn't want to do that right now. So here we go. And you could go ahead and curve them knowing that we're going to get a little bent. But boy, can you see the difference right now? You can see the gray better than, where's my other card? Than you can here. I really like the way that this is turning out. All right. So then what we are going to do is that I'm just going to bring in my beautiful jewels and just press them down on top. And they break quite easily, but I'm just going to see if I can save as many as I can of these. Guess I have to bring in my scissors. All right. There we go. And again, all this does, they're just on one. And all I'm going to do is just put them down, make sure that they are adhered to the bottom. and just cut in between them. And I will have to go back and do a little bit of surgery on that one. Okay. And this is right about here. And I have an extra one over here that I am going to cut down. And yes, it's only a single. And I'm just going to put it right below. There you go. And it still looks like it is one line. And then we have one last butterfly. And again, I'm just pulling this off. And adhering this down. There we go. So there's our card. It was really that easy to do. Our first card is done. So I am excited about this. And then you open it up. There you go. But I am going to take one of these, and it just needs to be on the top of the eye. There you go. Gives it a nice little send off. So that's my card. That's our first card that we are making. So I hope you like it. So let me get all of this out of here so we can start our second card. And our second card is a lot like the first. I did I used die cuts with it, and there's not a lot to it. Let me grab this really quick. All right, so this piece is 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. This is the card that we are making today. And it's just beautiful. I have a little bit of shimmer. I don't know if you can see this. I colored these with a marker, and this is the Bermuda Bay. This is Coastal Cabana on the inside, and then this is Pool Party. So I just threw those together. Loved it. I just thought it was beautiful. And then instead of doing any type of, because I did amazing up here on the front, I just left this open. And if you wanted to write something, you could. All right, so that is the card. I think it's just fabulous. So all of these little pieces are from scrap paper. And most of the scrap paper that I used, it was 4 1/4 by 5.5. And I was able to cut out the flowers and also cut out the wording. So if I did a very detailed die cut, then I would do a detail. Amazing. And I could just stick it on the side and it would die cut itself. So that was awesome. And then, of course, I have the Pool Party that is at 4 and 5.5. Now, let me show you what I'm using. On this is, oh, I love this, the beautiful, beautiful, beautiful layered Holleyhocks. So with these Holleyhocks, they have a matching stamp set that comes with them, but they're just beautiful all by itself. So this is the base. Excuse me. This is the base or the bold part, and this is the detailed part and the thin. I also used these flowers, and they came out single, and I just put the little detailed ones right on top. All right. So that's what I did as far as the Holleyhocks go. Then I got one of my, this is one of my favorite dies. And it is from the Amazing Thanks. It's part of the Amazing Silhouettes. And again, it is just a red rubber die or red rubber stamp set. And these are just so wonderful. This is the bold Amazing. And this is the detailed Amazing. That fits right on top. And it also has thanks and you and R. So you have a couple of things. I love the thanks. I love the Amazing. I just think it's absolutely beautiful. All of these were put on with the, whatever these are called, I forget. Oh, the adhesive sheets. So all of these have adhesive sheets on the back. Okay. So I'm sorry. I'll let you take a screenshot. And again, the darker color is Bermuda Bay. The lighter color is Coastal Cabana. All right, y'all, let's get this party started. So here we are. We are taking off the dimensions. We're just going to add our pool party to the basic white, and the basic white is thick. All right, then I'm going to bring back the silicone pad again, and I am just going to start with the flowers. And the first flower I am going to use will just be the detailed, or I lied, the solid. And this one should come off pretty easy once I get it going. And again, all I'm going to do is pull, but it's going to be a gentle pull because this one has a whole bunch of moving parts to it. And they are very fragile. So I want to make sure that as I go to take it off, again, I'm doing surgery. And it is just nice and easy. Then I just like to pull it once I get it going. So there's one part, and then this part should come off too. All right, and then I'm hoping that the rest will come off. And it's easier when you can take it and everything kind of bends to it. I thought it did. Oh, this has 3 parts to it, so that's why. Yes, I'm doing surgery again, concentrating too much and forgetting that I have an audience that is watching. Wow, I hope this goes a lot better than on the detailed one. You know, it's always, I don't know, I know that you hear other demonstrators and other people talk about it was very easy compared to when you get on YouTube. That is just so true. So true. All right, so now I just have to find some little ones to take apart before I add them onto the card. And this will be the bottom layer. All right. So we'll just bring that in, and I'm just going to put it towards the side. There we go, and lay it down. All right, one part down, another one to go. Woohoo! Some of these have some of their paper that's still in it. When you take it apart, sometimes that will come right out with it. We'll see if it happens today. Do you see how it just pulled right out? All right. Again, these are very easy to rip, so you just want to be careful. And then we should have just a couple, one last one. This is just so awesome. I love this. And I love being able to put this on the back of cardstock, cut it out, and it is already totally sticky for you, so you don't have to use any small liquid glue or some of this kind of fine tip. You can just put it on right away. So we only ended up with one that didn't come out. So now I am putting this Bermuda Bay on the top of I want you to be able to see the bottom just a little bit. There you go. Just putting it on the top of Coastal Cabana. And then the amazing that's coming out. I'm hoping it will come apart a little bit faster. Nope. And there's one more break. All right, and this is our last one. Now, one of the things that you will see is that this is in 3 parts. When it's in 3 parts, what that lets you know is that when I laid this down, I laid it this way because 3 of these parts are sticky. You can just lay it down on one side and it will come off nice and easy. Otherwise, you're dealing with the sticky stuff on the side. So I like being able to cut it because it seems like you can, it's very conservative to use the pieces going down than the pieces going lengthwise. Anyway, to me it is. Now, as you see, I just stuck this down here while I'm dealing with the Detailed Amazing. It's not going to stick to the silicone pad. It's just going to give me just a place where I can, when I'm ready to use it, it'll just pop right up and it's going to be ready to rock and roll. Now, again, this is what the 3 pieces that I'm talking about. Okay, and you can see it's very detailed. And this is where the spelling comes out, so you can see the spelling part of the amazing. And when you do that, you will just gently lay that inside here. Do not press it down. So then if you need to, you can fiddle with it just a little bit and it will line itself right up. All right. So then here we go. We're going to get the A on. Okay. And then the M and the A and our Z. And Y. There you go. So now all I have to do is pick it up, bring back in my card, and just find out where I want to lay it across my card. There we go. I want it to be up a little bit higher. All right, so we got that. Then what we are going to do is that we are going to bring in our fine Sparkle Adhesive-Backed Gems. And let me clean this off real quick. And we are going to color them in with our marker, the fine tip. And you can you see the difference between the 2 that I have down here? This is Pool Party, and I am adding some of the Bermuda Bay on this. So now some of it has already dried, but I wanted to give it another coat so you could see it. So that is what it looks like. Can you see the difference? It's beautiful. And then all I'm going to do is put 3 at the top. And 2 at the bottom. And the reason that I'm moving this around a little bit is because the glue dot that's behind it is coming off, and I want to make sure when I get it back on. There you go. And so I kind of go around in circles. All right, so now very carefully, oh my God, very carefully, I'm going to just color the top of all of these. Isn't that beautiful? I love it. And then, I hope these stay on good. And then I'm just going to bring in a piece of my scrap paper, and it works with the Stampin' Majig or the Stamparatus. And this is Stella inside the Stampin' Mist with alcohol. And all I'm going to do is just give it a spray. And you can see that it's wet, but I don't know if you can see some of the shine yet. But that's all I did was I added some shine to the card. And then we're just going to finish our card by putting the little flowers on the inside. And again, this is what I call a 2-step, which means that you have the solid piece on top of, or the detailed piece on top of the solid. And I'm just taking off the backs. And again, your take your pick tool can help you out a lot with that. And honestly, I do not know where mine has gone. And then my last one. A little last flower right here in the corner. So there's my card. And I don't know, can you see some of you can't see any of the shine, but it's beautiful when I look at it this way. So again, these are 2 cards that we created today, and they are no stamp cards. I have done other cards on my YouTube video. This is a no stamp card. Okay. This I have a tutorial about. It's called a corner fold. Again, using the Love for You. And yes, I love this paper from Celebration. Oh, it just makes me happy. So here's another card. Here again is one more card that uses the corner fold. So my little kitties are out and about, and this is done instead of with designer series paper. I just use cardstock. All right, you guys. So I hope that you will participate with me. Put your cards down below. I thank you for stopping by today, and I am so glad that you are with me. So you guys, thank you, thank you, thank you from the bottom of my heart. I really appreciate your support. Again, my name is Kevon. I'm at www.ktstamps.com, and I absolutely love creating cards for you. So thank you again for joining me on Hump Day Sketches, and get ready for next week. Bye-bye.